Hey guys, it's that time again. This time we're going over Juri, which is a personal favorite of mine. But anyways, as usual, I'll be writing down the official notes verbatim on the screen for you. And if you guys want to check out the official notes yourself, you can check in the video description below for the link. But for the most part, I'll be summarizing the notes for you guys and explaining what they mean, just so we can speed this up. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with Juri's forward throw. So it got hit by some of the universal nerfs, which is lower damage, lower stun, and lower meter gain, but now you recover 5 frames faster than your opponent, which means you get to act much sooner than you did in Season 1, and after you throw them, you're much closer to them now. So this is really interesting, because a lot of the throws in this game, actually, they extended the range you throw them, but not Juri. So that means she'll probably have some setup options after her forward throw. I didn't get to test out much, but for example, you could do like a standing hard kick, and if they stick out a button, you'll get a crush counter on them. So I think it was a good idea to buff Juri's forward throw in general, because it's good to have Juri, the opponent, being threatened by being thrown by Juri, because she's more of a close ranged fighter when she's applying all that pressure. You want to make it scary for them to be thrown. Moving on to back throw, you now recover 2 frames faster, which isn't much, but you still get to, act faster than you normally would. And the distance thrown is also decreased. But I think the distance is still pretty far. I don't think you'll get anything. You'll just be able to apply pressure a little bit sooner than you did in Season 1 with her back throw. Moving on to her air throw. They extended the range of her air throw. I think they did this with a lot of characters in Street Fighter V. They just want to make it so if you do read that your opponent is jumping and you want to go for that air throw, it's just easier to grab them. They also made it so you're easier to be anti-air by the opponent. This is just, it's not really a bug, but when most characters have air throws and they jump and do an air throw, it's harder to anti-air, it's harder to hit them because their hurt box are kind of shrunk a little bit. So they're just kind of making sure that you can't just do a gimmick and do a jump air grab to avoid attacks, for example. They just fixed all that for most of the characters. Moving on to Juri's jump. All jumps are now 38 total frames from 39. I think they're just trying to make all of her jumps the exact same number. I'm pretty sure one of her jumps was off and it was like, 39. And so they're just making them all consistent and streamlined now. So don't have to worry about it. Moving on to her standing light kick is now 4 frames active from 2. This is actually a pretty big buff. Which means it's much more meaty, that her leg sticks out for much longer than it normally does. So this means you can do meaty setups, so if you knock your opponent on the ground, you can stick out a light kick as they're getting up and they'll get hit right into it. Or you can use it as a better counter poke, for example, because the opponent can walk into it. And you gotta remember, her standing light kick is already +4 on hit, which means that if you even do this remotely meaty on the opponent, you can easily link into a medium now, a standing medium punch, for example, which is pretty deadly because she did get some new combos. So yeah, standing light kick, really good. Okay, now her standing medium punch. Her standing medium punch is now +5 on hit from +4. So she gets a little bit more frame advantage, so she can finally do a special combo that I've been hoping for a really long time. She's also harder to be counter poked with this because they shrunk the hurt box. So Juri players like to use a lot of standing medium punch to apply pressure, and they like to walk forward and bully them with standing medium punch. And now if the opponent spaces, it won't be as easy to hit her out of it because she does get some pushback on that. Okay, so anyways, standing medium kick. So the startup of the first hit of standing medium kick, because her standing medium kick is 2 hits, but the first hit is now 5 frames from 6. It's 1 frame faster. And since her standing medium punch is now +5, this means you can finally link standing medium punch into standing medium kick. Mediums into mediums, boys. Top tier confirmed. No, it's just something I've been asking for a long time with Juri. It's so annoying. Just a lot of her combo potential is really weak because she couldn't go medium into medium without counter hit. And then since you're going into a light in Season 1, you couldn't get much damage off your specials because you only do light specials. But now this is going to open up a lot for her, because now since she can go standing medium punch as standing medium kick, she can go into the flip kick. It leaves her options so she can get into the super easy, the fake overhead. That's the stock charge with the medium kick. I call it fake overhead. You can link into that easier. It just opens up so much for Juri, just having to be able to do medium into medium. A very big buff, probably one of her biggest buffs, I'd say, for Season 2. Also, the second hit of her standing medium kick is now 7 from 8. So it starts up 1 frame faster as well. So the whole move is 1 frame faster. So that's really interesting. They also changed the damage distribution. Less damage on the first hit, but more damage on the last hit. So since it does 2 hits, they just changed the numbers of the first and second hit. If you get both hits, it's still the exact same damage as it was in Season 1. I think they made the first hit weaker just because now that she can link into it from a standing medium punch, they just want to lower the damage overall. But if you're still hitting the second hit of it, it's gonna be a bonus, because now if you're playing footsies with her standing medium kick, you'll get more damage from that second hit alone. So it's pretty cool. Extended the bend back on the first hit by 1 frame. These notes, man, so inconsistent. But this basically means that the hit stun is 1 frame longer on her standing medium kick, which means that it's easier to cancel out of it into a special move. They're just making it more lenient so that since you're going to be using standing medium kick a lot more this season for canceling out specials, they're just making the window bigger for you. They also said that this will not be changed when you're in V-trigger, which kind of makes sense because in V-trigger in general, when you land a standing medium kick, you're actually chaining into normals anyways. You're not really going straight into special, because she'll go medium kick into hard kick, for example, right, into whatever stock finisher you're using. So there's no point in changing in V-trigger at that point. More range on the first hit. I'm pretty sure they did this just to make sure the links are consistent, since they want to make sure that if you do land a standing medium punch, you won't run into weird situations where you press medium kick and you're just a little too far and you'll get the second hit. They want to make sure this combo is nice and consistent, so you don't have to be like point blank on your opponent to land this. So yeah, really good buffs to her standing medium punch, standing medium kick overall. Moving on to standing hard punch, now +4 on hit from +2. This means that her standing hard punch now links into lights, and if you get a counter hit on it, it will link into mediums. Pretty cool buff. I was kind of hoping they would change the active frames for standing hard punch, because I like to do meaty standing hard punch canceled into stock, for example. But it's still a buff nonetheless. Moving on to standing hard kick, recovery increased from 17 to 20, which means now it's much easier to whiff punish Juri and you're more exposed for longer. Juri players like to use standing hard kick a lot because it's a forward moving attack that can crush counter. So it's one of their favorite buttons. So now if you space correctly, you can punish Juri much easier. I think that's a warranted nerf, and one of the only nerfs that she received. Moving on to crouching light punch, active frames are now 3 from 2. So same with the standing light kick, it's much easier now to hit your opponent as they're getting up with her crouching light punch. So 2 lights are much more immediate now. So they're doing a lot of buffs to Juri's normals in general. So it's pretty cool. Since it's 3 frames meaty, you can probably link into some new combos from this as well. So yeah, I like it. Moving on to crouching medium punch, increased startup to 6 from 5. So now they did this on purpose so that you can't link crouching medium punch from standing medium punch. Since they made standing medium punch +5, and her crouching medium punch used to be 5 frames, they don't want to go medium, crouching medium punch into combos. So crouching medium punch kind of got hit in the crossfire because of this, so they just made it slower. So they're forcing you that you have to link the standing medium kick from standing medium punch. But now it's active for 3 frames from 2, so they did buff it a little, which once again makes it a better meaty option when your opponent's on the ground and you're right next to them. You can stick out a crouching medium punch and it'll stay out there and it can get hit into it. And it's a better poke in general, so that's pretty cool. So crouching medium punch didn't just get nerfs for no reason. Moving on to crouching medium kick, now +2 on hit from +1, really interesting. So that's makes her low attacks a little bit stronger. The range of her normals aren't really too good to begin with, but now that it's +2 on hit, it can link into a standing light kick on counter hit. Really interesting, but you have to be pretty close to do it. But now it's -2 on block from -3, so that's another buff. So that means it's safe unless you're against like Zangief and he does like SPD on you, super. But yeah, -2 is the magic number of Street Fighter V, and a bigger cancel window to cancel into special. So when you're playing footsies with her and you're using crouching medium kick a lot, it's much bigger window now to cancel to the special and confirm that. So yeah, really nice buffs. Her forward medium kick, this is her overhead, is now -6 on block from -4. This is a completely universal change. They're trying to make all the overheads in this game -6. So before -4 was punishable, now it's going to be even more punishable. That's pretty much it. Juri's overhead isn't really the best anyways, it's mostly used for closing rounds, so yeah. Her target combo, standing medium punch into forward or back hard punch target combo, is now -12 on block from -6. I don't understand this nerf. This is so random, because why make it more punchable when it whiffed on crouchers anyways? What more do you want, Capcom? You know, it's not like Juri players were spamming this target combo, right? But yeah, they made it a lot more punishable. If you block this target combo, you can send Juri to the next dimension. But if you're crouching, you can also send her to the next dimension. So, I don't know. It's a really random nerf after all these buffs. So it's kind of like, Capcom's like, we gotta nerf something. So let's just nerf her target combo. I don't know. Really, really weird. Okay, let's talk about Juri's V-skill now. Just to clarify, in case you guys don't know how Juri's V-skill works, if you just tap it, she'll dash past the opponent and hit them on the other side. Or you can also charge it. You hold down the mediums, she'll go into this low stance, and then you'll see a pulse appear beneath her. Once you see that pulse, she's now in the level 2 stage of her V-skill, where her V-skill now changes. If you release or you tap it again, she'll actually do this crazy dashing attack where she looks like she goes invisible, and she hits you from the front this time, and also goes through projectiles. So, the level 2 version of her V-skill, the dash hitbox, is now 4 frames faster, from 14 to 10, which means she now hits the opponent much sooner than before in Season 1. So for example, if your opponent is standing right here, and then Juri is right here, in Season 1 she would hit them when she was this close, but now in Season 2, she's like this, you can hit her much further. So makes it much harder for the opponent to react to it. Also, the V-skill now has more juggle potential, and you can now cancel after any stock ender except for the EX version. When I say stock ender, when she goes core circle forward kick, and she gains like a kick charge, I call them stocks. And then if you press core circle forward, kick again with the same strength, I just call it a stock ender. It's just, yeah. But anyways, all 3 of these changes, right? The speed that it hits now, the juggle potential change, and you can now cancel after these stock enders, means that she has a lot more combos now in Season 2 that she didn't have, that all lead into the level version of her V-skill. For example, you can do the hard kick stock ender, and it will juggle right into her level 2 V-skill now. So this gives her a lot more options to gain V-gauge throughout the match, and also ups her damage. So a lot of buffs to her V-skill in general, especially the level 2 version. Projectile invincibility of level 2 V-skill starts up twice as fast now, from frame 14 to frame 6. So you'll now have a much easier time going through projectiles when it was used like that before in Season 1, just a lot more time now. Just makes up, you know, Juri's V-skill wasn't the best in Season 1, so I really do like these changes, and they're also like making it easier for you to actually get into this if your opponent doesn't have projectiles, like just landing in combos in general. And if your opponent does have projectiles, they have to worry about the threat of Juri going through them with the level 2 as well, and also gaining V-gauge. The time to charge to the level 2 version of her V-skill has been decreased to 33 frames from 40, which is much faster charge now, about 17.5% faster. So when she actually goes into that low stance and you're charging her V-skill, the pulse will appear much sooner, and she'll be in that level 2 stage. Like Capcom pretty much had to buff that because they're giving you so many more options for her level 2 V-skill that you just have to be able to get into it sooner. And plus, how many times you guys have been playing Juri and your opponent's just chucking off fireballs and you're like, I know I'm supposed to use the level 2 V-skill to stop this, but I can't get enough time to charge this damn thing because you'll get hit by fireballs out of it. So now making the charge much faster, it makes it much more reliable. So just overall, Juri's V-skill is just buffed everywhere. Just everywhere. Okay, moving on to Juri's flip kick. This is where she flips over and kicks the opponent, core circle back kick. The light and medium versions now hit the opponent on the ground 1 frame faster. So just when she flips in the air, it'll hit her just like, they'll hit the opponent just before they hit the ground. And this actually changes, it makes her allowed to combo things that she couldn't before. So the light hits on frame 19 from 20, and the medium version hits on frame 20 from 21. So that means the medium flip kick now hit on the same frame that the light kick used to in Season 1. So this means that any combo that Juri had where she can cancel and link into the light flip kick now links into the medium version as well in Season 2. So basically, it's a damage boost. The funny thing is though about this change is that even though the light kick version hits 1 frame faster, there's pretty much no reason for Juri to use the light kick flip kick anymore that I can think of. They both have the same Oki after you hit the opponent, and they're both -6 on block. So I really don't know. Like this is a buff. right? Don't get me wrong, this is definitely a buff. I'm just wondering what is the point of the light kick flip kick now, because now medium just works with when all the lights did in combos now. So really strange. I guess now you can link into a counter, like a counter hit crouching medium kick now links into the light version, just so you guys know, because the crouching medium kick is now more plus. So if you guys get a counter hit crouching medium kick, you can actually cancel that into the light flip kick and it'll link. But besides that, I don't understand what's the point of making it 1 frame faster as well. So yeah. The EX version now completely fireball invincible from frame 1 now instead of frame 5. This is actually a really good buff to Juri. This makes it really scary for projectile users against Juri, because Juri now can just do it on reaction. So the opponent chucks out a fireball before, when you did core circle back and you did the EX version of her flip kick, if the projectile was too close to you, the projectile would still hit you. You're not fireball invincible yet, but now it's frame 1. So even if the opponent knocks you down and spaces that fireball so it's right over your body as you're getting up, you can still do the EX flip kick through it and hit your opponent. So really scary. That's good for her V-trigger conversions, and it just makes her not be zoned as hard because we got the buff to the V-skill as well. Alright, Juri's pinwheel. This is Dragon Punch motion with kick, right? DP with kick. So now the motion has been changed, or the command has been changed. So now her pinwheel is DP motion with punches instead of kicks now. So now it's like as if like an uppercut now, I guess, right? They did this for input overlapping. So when you're doing your stock charges, I did this a lot myself when I was playing Juri on the stream. Now when you're trying to do your pinwheel, you don't accidentally do core circle forward kick, for example. I mean vice versa. If you're trying to do the stock, you don't accidentally do the pinwheel and you get murdered for it. If you're doing like a medium kick stock charge and you accidentally do an uppercut, that'd be pretty bad. So they made it punches so you can't accidentally do this again. So yeah, the light version is now +2 on hit from +1. This pretty much means this is the one that doesn't knock your opponent up in the air. You just go straight forward with the pinwheel. It just means that you can act sooner now after landing it. So if you do still cancel into this, you can like walk forward and throw your opponent much sooner than you think you would, or you can stick on attack right away if he tries to mash a button while you're doing this, because Juri does have some game plan after landing that light kick pinwheel. You can try to shimmy them and such. And plus now she can go medium to medium. You won't be seeing combos into the light pinwheel as often as you did before in Season 1. The medium version now does more damage. That is the anti-air version when she goes up. So medium more damage. Medium version is no longer throw invincible. This is part of the universal nerfs to all most of the DPs in the game. The medium version is now a better anti-air, full invincible, besides throws, like I just said, after frame 2. So this is once again the universal nerf. So this means that Juri can't do it as a reversal on wake up because the opponent sticks out an attack as she's getting up, she'll get hit. But they wanted to increase the invincibility so that if you are using it as an anti-air like what it's intended for, it will work much more reliably. I remember I get stuffed out of this so many times in Season 1, so this is a really good change. So to summarize, the medium punch uppercut is a much better anti-air now. But you can still throw her from frame 1 to whatever until she leaves the ground. The hard version of her pinwheel is no longer throw invincible at all as well. So this means that the hard version of her pinwheel has no invincibility whatsoever. So they want it to be strictly used as a combo finisher, just combo filler. That's all it is. Okay, her stock releases. So once again, I'm just calling this a stock release. It's not the official name, but this is when you go core circle forward kick, and then you press core circle forward kick of the same strength again for the release, like her fireball, for example. So the light release fireball in V-trigger is slowed down greatly. So when she activated V-trigger before in Season 1, Juri's fireballs went a lot further and they were a lot faster. But now in Season 2, they made them so slow, it's pretty much the same speed as her regular fireball without V-trigger now. So you could look at this as a buff or a nerf, it depends. It's a buff in the sense that you get more pressure because you can dash and follow up with it, because the opponent will be stuck in block stun from it, and you can apply pressure. But it's also a nerf because when Juri activated her V-trigger, she can immediately zone the opponent with fast projectiles that go underneath other projectiles, and they cause knockdowns. So yeah, depends how you look at it, depends what your playstyle is. So, but nonetheless, it is changed. Made it easier for the opponent to V-reversal between the fireball canceled into super for chip kills. This was changed for Ken as well, but basically, if Juri went Fireball into Super when they know the opponent would get chipped and killed from this, the opponent had a harder time doing a V reversal to save his life. So they're just making the like easier for the opponent to do a V reversal. So almost kind of like a bug fix almost. So don't worry about it. The medium release is now slower and -4 on block from -6. The medium release is the fake overhead kick she does. So now that it's -4 on block, it's safer, but you'll still get, like, it's still unsafe. They can still do a light attack and punish you. And since it's slower, the animation between her jumping in the air and kicking you, it's much easier for the opponent to stick out a button and stop her in the first place. So if the opponent does block it, you're now a little bit safer. But in general, the whole animation is slower, making it easier for the opponent to punish it before you even hit them. So it just makes Juri players a little bit more honest, knowing like they should do it when they know it links and combos into it, rather than hoping they can randomly hit it, because it links into another medium afterwards. Her hard release, this is her finisher one, when she does that double kick and kicks him out of the air. Now recovers 10 frames faster, so 21 from 31. Big change. So now she gets to act much sooner, much sooner, after she actually lands her hard finisher. And you can also, you can cancel the animation of this. So if you actually watch it when she does those two kicks, you can actually stop it 10 frames sooner than you think you would. You actually cancel the animation now. So this allows much more combos with Juri after the hard ender, when you can juggle into it. So for example, when you have Juri's V trigger, you can go Fireball, which juggles them up in the air, into the hard finisher, core circle forward hard kick, and then you can go into a hard finisher again. It will link into itself, it juggles into itself, because you can cancel that last 10 frames of animation. And if they're in the corner, you can go hard finisher into EXDP, or hard finisher into hard finisher into whatever. A lot more combo potential with Juri. I would have to show you guys some examples of it. The hard release damage is lower though, because they're allowing you to do more combos with it, so they're just lowering the damage overall. And the hard kick release stun greatly increased, much more in V-Trigger as well. So they're lowering the damage but raising the stun. And the hard release is now -6 on block from -11. So it's still punishable, but less punishable. -11 is a lot. That's enough for like a hard normal to hit you. But now only -6. So overall, Juri's, all of those stock releases are all buffed, except for the Fireball and V-Trigger, which is questionable, but besides the other ones, it's really nice. And now Juri's Super, that's core circle back twice into kick. They expanded the hitbox backwards. This means that it's harder for the opponent to jump over it. So when the Fireball's coming at you this way and they try to jump over it, there's like a bigger hitbox behind it, just so they'll jump into a big wall basically. So it's just a little small change to the Super, just in case you're using it to zone out your opponent if they're jumping in the air, for example. And that's it, guys. That's the Juri changes for Season 2. Overall, I think it's pretty easy to say that she is overall buffed, for sure. Usually I would say, when I'm doing these kind of videos, I would say slightly buffed, or greatly buffed. But for Juri, I'm just going to say buffed, because they raised a lot of things with her. Her combo potential is way higher now. They really buffed her V skill. They buffed her throws. But I think what was holding Juri back a lot in Season 1 was basically her playstyle, how she's supposed to be played. She's a character that she can't do her full combos until she gets these stocks. You have to go closer forward kick, and you leave yourself open, and you might lose neutral, push yourself to the corner. You have to charge your V skill. All these things need to be, you have to set yourself up so you can play well, other characters can just do their combos whenever they want. And since they didn't really change that, besides the V skill, I think that stops her from being greatly buffed, is what I'm saying. And plus her V trigger itself wasn't changed. You know, it's still 3 bars. It still drains pretty fast when you cancel for a 3-bar V trigger, and there's still a lot of scaling as well. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like she could have got buffed harder, but she's still really good. But I just don't think that she's just on insane levels, because if you look at all of her patch notes, she only got like maybe 2-3 nerfs max, but I still don't think she's insanely buffed. Is basically what I'm saying. So notable buffs for Juri: forward throw, opponent is closer, you recover faster. Standing medium punch is now +5, which is amazing because she can now link the mediums into mediums. Her V skill was buffed through the board, making it much more threatening for opponents to throw fireballs because she can easily charge it to level 2 really fast, go through it, and she can combo into it, and she get V gauge much easier now. Medium punch DP is now better anti-air, so she got a lot more invincibility, so now you won't trade when you do your medium punch anti-air with Juri anymore. Her medium punch uppercut anti-air, sorry. Our medium kick flip kick, now all of her combos that she went into the flip kick with light can now be done with the medium kick version, so she just got a damage buff just for her combos. The EX flip kick now is completely invincible to fireballs from frame 1, so she can now use it if they try to space it so the fireballs immediately over your head, or you can just do it on reaction. If you see the opponent throw a fireball and you have 1 meter, you can now just do it, and you don't have to worry about being too slow. Makes it really scary against fireball characters. And many more combos across the board with Juri now. She has a lot more combos than she did in Season 1, with all the stock charges and all the juggle differences and the V skill as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of these Juri buffs. For all you Juri players, I'm sure you guys are really happy with these changes with her. Some things I didn't expect, but some things I did expect for them to change. But yeah, let me know which character you guys would like me to work on next, and can't wait to check your comments below. So yeah guys, till next time, take care.